Let's do it. Tricia has been a football fan since childhood, and I am just going to go ahead and click her on so she can give you some more information about herself. But just briefly, what I know is that she knows the game inside and out. She is the expert. If I have a question about football, Tricia Teague is who I'm going to call. And in an effort to bring some clarity to women and peace to men, she has penned the ultimate guide to the game, and it's called Football is Just Like Shopping, and we're going to welcome Tricia to the conversation. How you doing, Trish?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful.
I'm sorry, I heard you both talking at the same time.
No, we said we've been waiting on you.
Oh, well, I've been waiting to join in the discussion.
Oh, are you chomping at the bit?
On a few things, yes, but I realize that I'm not the typical female football fan, so my perspective is a little bit different.
It's a little bit higher. It's almost like Yugo and Mercedes. I'm the Yugo. You're the Benz when it comes to football. So understand that. Yeah, I'm probably the average one. I am a fan, but nowhere near as big of a fan as you. So the one thing I wanted to start with, Trish, is to let everyone know how the flow of your book goes and how really accurate it is to the game. And I'll deal with one that helped me out a lot. When you dealt with, like, Chapter 19 of your book, it dealt with penalties. And in that chapter, Tricia explains how a penalty can be a game changer depending on who it's assessed to. And if you have a team called the Shoppers, which Trish uses that analogy in the book a lot, you have a team called the Shoppers. They're playing against the Creditors, and the penalty is assessed to the Creditors, providing extra yards and an automatic first down for the Shoppers. Okay, that made everything real clear. I was like, okay, cool. That means the difference between that was the difference for me between getting a $400 pair of shoes for $50. But Trish, what I want you to do is try to explain to women, how did you come up with all of this? I mean, I know you well enough to know some things, that you are as much of a shopper as you may be a football fan, but man, that's just ingenious to make someone like me understand penalties through that analogy. How did you come up with that?
Well, the whole concept, what you said about me is true. I am as much of a shopper as I am a football fan. So the whole concept of the book was really a marriage of probably my two favorite things. And I'm a person who, I've been given a gift of analogies. I can come up with an analogy for anything to try to explain it. And so I think over the course of time, a lot of my girlfriends would say to me, how do you understand football? How do you watch it? And so I would just come up with these analogies to try to explain stuff. And they made sense. And because I think like a woman, I can explain to women. And when you use something that people understand and that they know, then it makes it a whole lot easier to explain a concept that they don't know when you compare it to something that they do know. And most women world over know about shopping. And we know that, and I've had men say to me, for a while before I even wrote the book, men would say to me, football is nothing like shopping. And I'm like, sure it is, because there's a strategy. When women shop, there's a strategy. Men don't get it. They don't understand that we strategize when we shop. But really, so that was the whole gist behind the book, to be able to say, okay, it's just a matter of taking something that you know, which is your strategy behind your shopping, and then explaining something that you don't know, the strategies around football, and bringing them together and using one to explain the other.
And let me legitimize this for the men who are listening to this. Tricia, you were a sports writer for a number of years, correct?
Yes. My first love was sports. I grew up watching sports, reading sports. I was a sports editor at my high school newspaper. I went to college and got my degree in journalism, and I only ever wanted to do one thing, and that was to write sports.